Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Today's article comes from bigthink.com and it is a creepy one. The headline here is "Dead Bodies Keep Moving for More Than a Year After Death. New Study Finds." So much for rest in peace. It was written by Mike Colagrassi and it was published September 16th, 2019. Australian scientists found that bodies kept moving for 17 months after being pronounced dead. Researchers used photography capture technology in 30-minute intervals every day to capture the movement. This study could help better identify time of death. We're learning more new things about death every day. Much has been said and theorized about the great divide between life and the great beyond. While everyone and every culture has their own philosophies and unique ideas on the subject, we're beginning to learn a lot of new scientific facts about the deceased corporeal form. An Australian scientist has found that human bodies move for more than a year after being pronounced dead. These findings could have implications for fields as diverse as pathology to criminology. Dead bodies keep moving. Researcher Alison Wilson studied and photographed the movements of corpses over a 17-month time frame. She recently told Agence France Presse about the shocking details of her discovery. Reportedly, she and her team focused a camera for 17 months at the Australian facility for taphonic experimental research, or AFTER, taking images of a corpse every 30 minutes during the day. For the entire 17-month duration, the corpse continually moved. What we found was that the arms were significantly moving, so that arms that started off down beside the body ended up out to the side of the body, Wilson said. The researchers mostly expected some kind of movement during the very early stages of decomposition, but Wilson further explained that their continual movement completely surprised the team. "We think the movements relate to the process of decomposition, as the body mummifies and ligaments dry out. During one of the studies, arms that had been next to the body eventually ended up akimbo on their side. The team subject was one of the bodies stored at the body farm, which sits on the outskirts of Sydney. Wilson took a flight every month to check in on the cadaver. Her findings were recently published in the journal Forensic Science International Synergy. Implications of the study. The researchers believed that understanding these after-death movements and decomposition rate could help better estimate the time of death. Police, for example, could benefit from this as they'd be able to give a time frame to missing persons and link that up with an unidentified corpse. According to the team, understanding decomposition rates for a human donor in the Australian environment is important for police, forensic anthropologists, and pathologists for the estimation of PMI, to assist with the identification of unknown victims, as well as the investigation of criminal activity. While scientists haven't found any evidence of necromancy, the discovery remains a curious new understanding of what happens with the body after we die. And that is the end of this article. It's kind of funny how they put that in at the end, that scientists hadn't found any evidence of necromancy. Necromancy, as you probably know, if you don't, I'll explain it real quick, is the using of the dead in magic. So in other words, you might be able to bring dead people back to life. You might be able to reanimate dead people to make them serve you or fight for you or whatever. That's necromancy. So that was an interesting little article. It's kind of creepy though if you think about it, because the body keeps moving. It said 17 months after death. And that's just how long the study was. They didn't say that finally after 17 months the body stopped moving. They said that it moved for the entire 17 months. You would expect that if it's only because of decomposition, of like rigor mortis setting in and the muscles tightening and gases forming in the body as it decomposes, you would suspect that at some point that would stop, because eventually it would reach its final point. And I imagine probably it does once it's a skeleton or whatever. But it's just really, really strange to think about. I'm glad that they didn't kind of go the way that I thought the article was going to go. I thought that it was going to start talking about whether or not we were actually dead. Because they talked about time of death and about helping to estimate time of death. But what they were talking about there is just about how long a body had been dead. So in other words, somebody's missing, they go looking for them, they find them in the woods somewhere dead, and they can look at the state of the body and say, okay, estimated time of death is Wednesday at 4 o'clock or whatever. I'm glad that they didn't go kind of like saying, well, it turns out now that we were completely wrong about our understanding of death, and when you die, you're not actually dead yet for quite a long time. You're still in there moving around or something. I'm glad that it didn't go that way. That's what, when I first read the headline of the article, that's where I thought it might be going. But I'm glad to see that it wasn't that at all. It was just a scientific study showing that the body continually moves, the hair continually grows, nails continually grow, all those kind of things. So it's no real surprise in this article, but you don't think about it happening that long after death. To me, that's the surprising part, is that it was still moving 17 weeks later. That's kind of crazy to me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this article. Let me know down in the comments section what you thought of it, what you think of the idea of 17 weeks after you die, the body is still moving around. Now, it's not really like getting up and walking anywhere or flopping around a great deal. They had to use time-lapse photography to actually even catch it. But just the fact that it's still moving is creepy. Although that does not signify, once again, any kind of intelligent life or that you are still in your body. That I want to stress just in case, because I know that when I put these videos up sometimes, the overwhelming majority of people understand them and they know exactly what I'm talking about. But you always have that one yahoo who takes it way off into left field somewhere and says something absolutely crazy. So I'm not saying that. I just think it's a very interesting thing. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I appreciate your support, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.
Demons, the devil, ghosts, goblins, Sasquatch, werewolves, and every other thing that goes bump in the night. On Staring the Abyss, midnight Sunday nights. Come get lost with us.